What's up, guys? It's John at National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into today's games. And once again, unfortunately, the football gods convened. They saw that we were on the verge of at least going 2-0 with a push, and they told the running back to fall down and for once use a high IQ play, which is weird because in that situation, Sanchez even pointed it out that they weren't really protecting a lead, but it's okay. I think we were really over the target. And I want to go into these games specifically because each one, really outside the Browns, I just thought they were going to cover because it made way more sense for them to win. Colts Vikings, this is an example of I listen to everybody that chimes in, and especially ones that are sincere. And Marco, he came through again because he popped. So I have people that hit and run. And there's hit and runs where they come by, like that guy Profit Margin, get bad handles, and you can easily see through it. And then people like Trey, like Marco, and they'll pop in and they'll just give good, insightful information. And I was really not sure on this game. I thought they were going to flex Kirk Cousins and make him look really good. So I was thinking about going Vikings to cover, and he had reached out and he had a comment basically going into why he liked the Colts to cover. So I always reassess things. So if I see a comment or something and somebody goes over something, especially someone like Marcos came through, so we can thank him for that win because I was really on the fence and he really was the reason I wound up going with the Colts to cover. Basic trap game. And again, Cleveland, more people are going to be on, in my opinion, Baltimore, even with Cleveland, being at home, Baltimore having an injured quarterback. And then Dolphins, again, we knew the Bills were going to win. We knew the Dolphins had to lose. And honestly, I still stand by. I don't think Tua looked good. Most of these yards, a lot of these plays were players getting wide open or just ridiculous yards after the catch. So I'm not saying he did terrible, but I am standing by my theory that he's not going to do well on the road. He lost the 3-game road stand, and now they return home next week. So, in my opinion, they did these games for a reason, and it sets up narratives for all these upcoming games. 1 second, let me get this out. There we go. So, for all these upcoming games, I feel like now there's certain ones we have a better read on. So for example, the Jets game here, where I was leaning maybe going with the Jets. Since the Dolphins lost, I don't think a Jets win makes sense. Again, I think the last game of the season needs to mean something, and with the schedules going forward, the Jets need to be even with the Dolphins or a game below them. They can't have a game on them. It just doesn't make sense because then even if the Dolphins win that game, I did the simulation, Jets still get in. So there's no ramifications. On the other end, Detroit has some big ramifications because they could play Green Bay on the final week of the season. So between that and the fact that people are probably going to think Detroit's win was a fluke and the Jets are the better team, I'm going with Detroit. Also, the coach for the Jets literally went into how basically Wilson's a joke. He's garbage. He literally said, we pulled out every stop and did everything manageable to try and get Mike White cleared. This is a man that got fucking destroyed, so it's pretty bad when he's that pathetically trying to get him cleared. Now, this one, at first I thought a lot of people are going to be on Chicago with that many points at home, even though they're trash. And I thought maybe the Eagles look really, really strong since the Niners just did. But then I do like Chicago to cover for the simple reason. I do think they're pitching Fields as almost like a Hurts 2.0. They're only two quarterbacks in the league that really they will run before they decide to pass. There are some others like, Lamar, he's hurt right now. And even Allen sometimes. But for the most part, Fields runs before he passes and Hurts is about 50-50. So I think they kind of have they might break the record for quarterbacks combined. So here I like the Bears with the 8.5. Here I love the Falcons. I like them at the 4 because of the narrative. Yeah, the Saints could win, and the division could be abysmally bad, and they could all be like, chasing the division. But I think the Falcons win and make it a three-way race with the Panthers. And that brings me to my next pick. I like the Panthers because, and I'll take them to cover. I'm going to buy it down to 2.5, just because I have a weird feeling with this game. But I have the Panthers need to win. They play the Bucs pretty soon, and I think in my opinion, the Bucs and Panthers need to be pretty close for that game to mean anything, because that's how Tom Brady's going to get in the playoffs. Now this one, I was split on because obviously it looks like a trap, and you're going to have a good bit of public on this game, so you want to just immediately take Jacksonville cover. But I don't think they get in the playoff hunt, and I think they want Dallas to look more competitive with Philly, whereas like either of these teams can win. So I think Dallas definitely wins. The question is how much do they win by? I think they cover, so I'm going to take Dallas to cover the 4 there. And that brings us down to the Chiefs-Texans. And this one, all year long I've been off when I've done this, but I'm going to continue to because I do like it. 14.5 is a lot of points, even if it is the Chiefs and even if it is the Texans. So I am going to take the Chiefs to cover this big spread. Just last week with Dallas, we did it. A lot of people might have that on their mind. Like, okay, that is a lot of points to cover. So almost like a psychological thing, I think that the Texans are not going to cover that big spread. On this one, we got the Cardinals. This one's like an irrelevant game, but to me, it makes more sense that the Broncos finish with a basement pick when they have Russell, because now you can draft the Jalen Hyatt. You can draft a top defensive star, whoever you want to draft. So Kyler, I think he's staying with Arizona. There's no issue there, and I think they finished with a decent record, probably like not decent, but I mean not as bad. They'll probably finish something close to, in my opinion, 7-10, or because I think their schedule's not too tough. But I do think they win this game, and Denver continues to just tank. So that one, again, not a lot of money on, so I think Denver tanking just makes sense. And I'm going to go to the Titans-Chargers game. I usually get Titans wrong. I've been pretty hot on them the last couple of weeks. Same with Chargers. I usually get them wrong too. So my intuition's telling me, well, the Chargers win makes more sense to keep, the Titans don't need the win. You can see if the Titans were to lose and the Jags were to win, it would be interesting. I think the Chargers are going to be down there with the Patriots, with all these other teams, and the Titans win this game. So I'm going to take the Titans plus the 3, even though another one public might be on. I think it'll be about split. And for the AFC, I think it's more important that the Titans win and the Chargers lose this game. Now we got the Bengals and Bucs, and I think the Bucs cover. This one does look like a trap. A lot of money is going to be on this game. I like the 3.5. I think Bucs have yet to cover at home this year, which is an anomaly. Not that it can ever happen. And yeah, I just think the Bucs win this game, and they'll probably be a game ahead of the Falcons and the Panthers, and they might lose to them going forward, and it'll even out the division. But yeah, I like the Bucs to cover. I think way more people are going to be on the Bengals. Now, again, some of my 4s, I usually put out another video. I was thinking about tomorrow for the nighttime going live, just because then we can talk about the game shenanigans, tomorrow night's game, see what's going on. But for now, I thought I'd get the 4s out that I like, and I do like them pretty strongly. This one is actually my favorite game. I think the Raiders cover. I think they win for the simple reason I think that they're going to be in the playoffs. I did a video a couple days ago just going into why I think they're going to sneak their way into the playoffs very quietly. It seems like they're not going to get in, but they have a path that a lot of people don't understand is not that difficult. Giants Commanders, I've not looked into that one. I'll do the night games, of course, but I like to look into them more. I mean, they drew last time they played, so of course that could happen again. But with the line, I'm thinking more going to be on the Giants, but again, I'd have to look into this one. But yeah, so that's our plays for this week. We're doing good so far. We're 2-1. We got got the first two. We got the Colts cover by a half. We got the Browns cover, and we did miss the Bills cover, but yeah, I think we're over the target, and yeah, I just think between these games there's a lot of stories, and I think we have another good week. So take care, everybody, and thank you.